Hi, I'm Stacey Park, and this is Art Beat, a Missouri Western production. There's a lot happening on the local art scene, and Art Beat will be there to give you a front row seat to the latest performances, workshops, and festivals. We'll also go behind the curtain to chat with the people who make it all happen. So let's go see what's happening on this edition of Art Beat. Today on Art Beat, we're featuring the Best of Missouri Hands, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the development of Missouri artists and artisans. We met with Martha Greer, the executive director of the organization. We also met with two of Best of Missouri Hands artists to learn about how this organization has enriched their craft.
The Best of Missouri Hands is a nonprofit organization, and the mission of the Best of Missouri Hands is to support Missouri's fine artists and artisans. We do that through education, interaction, and networking opportunities. The most important benefit that we hear our artists talk about, our members, is the interaction and the connection with belonging to a broad community throughout the state of artists that are kind of like-minded and value the arts and want to become really involved, and the arts and creating are very important to them. So it really serves as a connection for artists.
Well, I am a silversmith and a metalsmith. I primarily work in sterling silver, beginning to integrate some other kinds of metals into some of my work. Well, one of the great benefits is the interaction with other artists throughout the state, particularly on a local basis. But as I get more involved with Best of Missouri, I've had a chance to talk to and meet other artists, regardless of their medium, to hear from them how to process and get better at their work, what they do, to get better at their work that might apply to what I do. There's a community out there of people whose perspective is all the same with respect to bringing the arts to not only ourselves for fulfillment, but to the local community. Well, I think most artists, at least the ones that I have been involved with, are always reaching to the next level, trying to find the better a way to bring the value out of their art, be it oil or watercolor or other metalsmiths. And one of the distinctions is that you have gained certain levels of quality in your work is by becoming a juried member or being juried into an art festival someplace. There is significance to it. It says that those folks who are perhaps even better qualified artists than you are have looked at your art and said it has significance to the folks out there in the world, and they like to have it displayed. So it's just bringing the barrier up a little bit higher that made me feel like I've achieved a certain level of quality.
Originally, I was involved with Best of Missouri Hands as a wood carver. That was a number of years ago. And then for health reasons, I was unable to carve wood anymore. So I started doing what we call segmented bowl turning, which is what you see that I do now. And in that process, I was encouraged to try to get juried into Best of Missouri Hands again. And so I submitted and was accepted. This is a segmented bowl. This is what I do. This is my art. And to look at it, it is a vase or an urn, if you will. The way this is made is that each of these layers is a circle that is assembled on its own. Then it's milled perfectly flat, and you stack them to create whatever shape in a rough form. Then I turn it out on a wood lathe. Now, the interesting thing about this bowl in particular is that in order to get this zigzag pattern at the top, I start with straight boards glued together. I cut them at a 45-degree angle, flip every other piece, glue it back together so that it's a board of zigzags. Then I cut that again at a 45-degree angle, flip every other piece, and what I've left out is, at that point, you cut with the saw blade at a 10-degree angle, so that it goes together to form a circle. Now, this vase has 685 pieces of wood in it. in order to make the one vase.
While it's important to us to provide benefits and opportunities for artists, it's also very important that we educate the general public about the importance of the rich artistic culture that we have here in Missouri, and we do that through the Visiting Artist Program. We do that through artist demonstrations. So, you know, that's a really important thing to our organization as well.
The biggest thing that Best of Missouri Hands has really done for me was the fact that they have an arts and school program. And I love kids anyway. And we had an opportunity to go see some kids at a couple of our local schools. And it was such a wonderful time. And they were so excited about woodworking. And we actually, the way my bowls are constructed is I make a lot of rings and stack the rings together in different patterns and then glue that together to make a bowl. So we took lots of rings and divided the kids up and let them stack their own bowl, and then they kind of had a contest to see who liked each other's bowl better. So it was just really a fun time.
I would just like to say that if you're an aspiring artist, if you are an artist that's wanting to raise the level of quality of the work you're doing, one of the things you need to do is to be part of a community of both professional and non-professional artists that will help you get the sense of how much value you have in your work, and it will allow you to look deeply at your work for quality and raise the value of your work, because you're working with other people who are just wonderful artists. Regardless of the medium, they all have techniques that you can use, whether it be intellectual or philosophical or marketing techniques for your work. They're there, and by joining an organization like this, you're going to get more out of it than you put into it.
To learn more about the artists that we featured today and other Best of Missouri Hands artists, as well as upcoming events, please visit bestofmissourihands.org. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Artbeat. Keep watching us on MWTV or on the web at missouriwestern.edu/artbeat. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Artbeat.